Hi. So this is going to be a quick video on septum stretching and how to stop that fucking awful feeling of your jewelry rubbing against your cartilage, because I know that you all feel it and I know your pain. When you stretch a piercing, obviously the hole gets bigger and obviously it has nowhere to go but out in all directions. And so when that happens as you're stretching your septum, it's gonna be going up against your cartilage and it's gonna suck. So one way to prevent this awful thing from happening is to start intentionally denting your cartilage. And when you're stretching, you're going to be doing this anyway, so there's really not a big difference between doing it from stretching or doing it on purpose because you're doing it for a good cause, unless you're like super masochistic and enjoy that feeling, in which case, call me up. So the way you can dent your cartilage is to just stretch. So if you want to stop at a 2 gauge, then stretch to a 0 gauge and then downsize, and then you'll create enough of a dent in order to compensate for the jewelry. And another thing you can do is just push up your jewelry against your cartilage to kind of whittle it down to make it more into a curved crescent shape, semicircle. There are a lot of words to describe this. And I'd recommend doing that while you're also stretching because it'll just make it go faster and make it easier and make more of a dent. And then you downsize and then you re-stretch back to the size that you wanted to stay at, and then you were good. Like when I stretched to a 0 gauge, I was fucking dying. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced ever. And so finally I was just like, fuck it, man, this fucking sucks. I should just like retire it and just get it over with. But then I took out my jewelry and then it didn't close up any lower than a 6 gauge because it has been stretched. And so then I was stalking somebody's posts on the body art forums because I'm a fucking creeper, and I was reading about how he was stretching his septum and how he was doing denting because his septum was at like 5/8, I want to say. And so I was like, oh, dude, that's so smart. And now everything's okay because the tissue has regrown, and so now there's more area in between your piercing and your cartilage because it is dented and because there is more tissue there now. So when you restretch, then it's gonna be a lot better for your face. So if you are stretching your septum and you don't want to suffer that awful pain, I highly suggest denting your cartilage because life will be so much easier for you.